What is the impact of historical revolutions on modern democracies? Introduction to historical revolutions. Historical revolutions have fundamentally reshaped societies by challenging established systems of power and introducing new political, social, and economic structures. Many modern democracies have been influenced by these revolutions, which have contributed to the development and evolution of democratic principles and institutions. This article explores how various historical revolutions have impacted contemporary democratic systems. The American Revolution and Constitutional Democracy. The American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, was a pivotal event in the establishment of modern democratic ideals. The revolution led to the creation of the United States Constitution, which established a framework for representative democracy, checks and balances, and individual rights. The principles enshrined in the Constitution, such as the separation of powers and the Bill of Rights, have had a lasting influence on democratic governance worldwide. The French Revolution and the rise of republicanism. The French Revolution, 1789 to 1799, profoundly impacted the development of republicanism and democratic values. It introduced concepts such as liberty, equality, and fraternity, challenging the absolute monarchy and aristocratic privilege. The revolution led to the drafting of the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, which emphasized human rights and the sovereignty of the people. These ideas contributed to the spread of republicanism and democratic reforms across Europe and beyond. The Russian Revolution and the formation of Soviet communism. The Russian Revolution of 1917 led to the fall of the Tsarist autocracy and the rise of Bolshevik rule under Vladimir Lenin. This revolution resulted in the establishment of the Soviet Union and the introduction of communist governance. While the Soviet model was a departure from democratic principles, the revolution influenced global politics and contributed to the development of political ideologies that impacted democratic and authoritarian regimes. The Iranian Revolution and the impact on Middle Eastern politics. The Iranian Revolution of 1979 led to the overthrow of the Pahlavi monarchy and the establishment of an Islamic republic under Ayatollah Khomeini. While the revolution resulted in a theocratic regime rather than a democratic government, it had significant implications for Middle Eastern politics. It challenged Western influence and inspired various political movements, influencing the discourse on governance and democracy in the region. The Latin American revolutions and democratic movements. The series of Latin American revolutions in the early 19th century, including the Haitian Revolution, contributed to the end of colonial rule and the formation of independent republics. These revolutions promoted the principles of self-determination and democratic governance, although many of the new republics faced challenges in establishing stable democracies. The legacy of these revolutions continues to influence democratic and political developments in Latin America. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of Cold War divisions. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked a significant moment in the end of the Cold War and the collapse of communist regimes in Eastern Europe. This event symbolized the triumph of democratic values over authoritarianism and led to the reunification of Germany and the expansion of democratic governance in former Soviet states. The end of the Cold War also paved the way for the spread of democracy and market reforms in many countries. The role of nonviolent revolutions in promoting democracy. Nonviolent revolutions, such as the Velvet Revolution in Czechoslovakia, 1989, and the People Power Revolution in the Philippines, 1986, have demonstrated the potential for peaceful change. These movements highlighted the effectiveness of nonviolent resistance in achieving democratic reforms and inspired similar movements in other regions. The success of nonviolent revolutions has reinforced the idea that democratic change can be achieved through peaceful means. The influence of historical revolutions on democratic ideals. Historical revolutions have played a crucial role in shaping the ideals and practices of modern democracies. They have introduced concepts such as human rights, democratic representation, and the rule of law, which continue to underpin democratic systems. The lessons learned from these revolutions have contributed to the ongoing evolution of democratic governance and the promotion of democratic values. Conclusion. Historical revolutions have had a profound impact on modern democracies by challenging existing power structures, promoting democratic ideals, and influencing political developments. From the American and French revolutions to the fall of the Berlin Wall, these events have shaped the principles and institutions of contemporary democratic systems. Understanding their impact helps to appreciate the complexities and evolution of modern democratic governance.